G'day, Ben from Melbourne here. And yep, we're doing another Interviewing the VC episode. And we've got the big kahuna today. It's the Mikiest Mike in the VC that there is, lover of the Afrobeat, champion of the record store t-shirt, a man looking for every Cramps record known to man, a bit of a show-off when it comes to Luna, a podcaster, but isn't everyone these days, a record room downsizer with a big size problem, the one and only Mike Carlson. Welcome, Mike.
Good day, Mike.
That was terrible.
Then just wait till the final Richie one. That's even worse.
Oh man, I've heard some bad g'days in my time, but that was top 5. That was magnificent.
Yes.
So anyone wondering why Mike is Mike Carlson, please send all of your questions to the link I provide below to Mike's channel, and he'll sort all of that out for you. Anyway, if you're new to this, we ask 12 questions to our guest, 6 of which are ones that they're allowed to pre-prepare.
Yeah.
If you say that enough, it feels like you're not saying it right.
Yeah.
And then 6 where they're on the hot seat, and then of course the bonus question. Are you ready, Mike?
My God, I have been studying. As I said, I went on top of a mountain just to think about this because we got a lot of mountains here, so I had a lot to choose from. So I'm ready.
Take note of that upcoming guest that he's put in the hard work for this one. Go and contemplate life on a mountain when you get asked to do one of these. It's the least I could ask for, I think.
Yep.
Okay. Oh yeah, I always forget to mention that I award points depending on if I like your answer or not. And it seems like the Americans love to argue about points in the comments, which I think I've done my work if that's what's happening, because really the points are quite meaningless. Okay, let's get into it. See?
Well, I'm not even going to try now.
All right. Question 1. Justify your YouTube vinyl community existence. Why should we watch your channel and show a record that supports this?
Well, I'll tell you why. I bring people hope. In a world that's gone mad, in a world where there's chaos, I bring hope to them. And there's a little story behind this if you want to hear it. Okay, so about 7 years ago, when I was living in Michigan, we had a forest behind us. So I went on walkabout, and as I'm doing walkabout, I see this twig standing up, a stick, and the stick's like head's on fire. Now, I've heard of the burning bush. I believe Abraham went into a burning bush and it talked and that. Well, damn, if this twig, I heard it talk. And I swear to God, it said, go forth and start a VC channel, which seemed kind of random coming off a twig, a little stick or whatever. But sticks are hard to understand. And it might have been my head's on fire, put it out. But I went with the first interpretation because I like that one better. I light his head on fire. So I just said, thank you. I appreciate this, and I shall go forth and start a channel. And as I left, I heard it say, God bless you, or was it, you bastard, you didn't put my head out? I don't know. Sticks are hard to understand. You've probably known that. So I went and I started a channel. Now, I give people hope because after they see my video, everybody knows I can do that. If that guy can do it, and he can mispronounce everything, Lord knows, gets his facts all screwed up and just goes off track, I can do this. And I believe that hundreds of VC channels have been started after watching mine. So
no doubt.
Yep. Hope.
You're like the punk rock of the VC.
Yes.
People go, I can do that.
Sorry, Sam. It's do it yourself, baby. You put the phone up and away you go. All right.
Beautiful. A talking twig.
Yep.
Very, very original, and I wouldn't expect anything else from you. Like, what's the standard answers? Like, well, I had a lot of time on my hands during COVID and thought I'll just show some records like some other middle-aged blokes.
Exactly.
But
No.
the burning twig spoke to
Yep.
you.
Divine intervention from on
It's a
top.
beautiful
Yeah.
story. It's a beautiful
thank you.
story.
Yeah, it was. It was. I think the stick did burn down, though. I'm pretty sure it wasn't doing well, but oh well.
And so you're so confident with that answer, you just don't even need to show a record to justify
Oh, I should show a record. Oh, damn it. Yeah. Look at that. I should do that. Oh, let's do this. I have some just sitting here. Look. Oh, this is a good one. How about this one? Rain Parade.
Oh,
This is a EP that just came out. You know Rain Parade? Of course
Yeah.
you know Rain Parade. So
fantastic.
they just put this out last year, but I got it this year. It's one of those, hey, I pre-ordered it, so we'll give it to you super late.
I
I
love that system.
Yeah, I don't understand pre-orders worth crap, but just like part of the '80s. Yeah, I'm not really never got into the '60s. I mean, I was a little kid, so it's like, whatever. '70s a lot. The '80s is when I actually had money and I could start blowing on stupid stuff like records. So, yeah, there we go. My existence. It could be the Zamrock too, but yeah.
Yeah, great record. I have what is it? The explosions in the glass palace.
Oh, yeah, I got that.
And the first one with the balloons on the cover. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, third rail, emergency third rail power trip.
Yeah, great records.
Yes, one of the best.
Excellent choice. Well, Mike, that is a solid 1 point for you. That was excellently answered.
Well, if not, you'd get struck by God. I mean, it'd be a lightning
bolt.
Yeah.
Not often that happens in the VC.
Yeah.
Question 2.
Yes.
You might have even already accidentally covered it. Show a record that I like.
Well, let's see. I think something. Let me take a look first. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but yeah, you probably don't like that one. But how about this? Is a cool group, and they're out of Venice, Italy. There is a lot of great stuff coming out of Italy lately. I don't know what's going on there, but Venice, of course, is sinking. But these guys, there's not the New Candies. Have you heard of them?
No, I don't know them.
Okay. This one came out in 2021. It's post-punk kind of shoegaze. Really good stuff. Really hard. This is the brand new album where they've added more electronics on it. It's kind of softened up. It still has a post-punk, but a little more dreamy with the electronics. Really interesting group. In Italy is just coming up with great stuff. And just another one I'll just show you. Lutsut out of Denmark. Hard rock, just fantastic. Actually, this is a nice autographed copy. The whole band autographed it for me.
Very nice.
The guy that's the lead singer, he had U Florenzen. One year, I bought his album. I gave it my favorite album of the year. He saw that video and commented. And I have a buddy in Denmark, and he went to this concert, and they all signed this album for me from Lutsut. So pretty cool. That's kind of a neat thing on the VC. You get to meet people. I mean, maybe not meet them, but you get these comments, and it's like, holy crap! Look who just commented.
Yeah, it is pretty wild.
Yep.
All right, that Italian band seems like something really in my wheelhouse.
It is.
Yeah. So and that's great. Like I love an answer to that question where it's some new stuff for me, because God knows I need more stuff.
Don't we all?
Because what else? Where am I going to put on the shelves?
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be another room that you can use. So yeah, just keep expanding.
There's always room. I think Mazzy says that.
Yes. Always room for Jello.
Excellent. 2 for 2. You're doing very well so far,
All
Mike.
right. Great.
Now, question 3. What is the most unusual item that has been included with a record you own? It can be either a legit part of the package or something the previous owner left in there.
All right. So I'm going to show you one of each just because I'm going to do it, and it doesn't matter. Probably the weirdest thing I ever found, and this was in my previous collection, there was a Kiss album, and there was a report card in there.
Nice.
Obviously, this kid was not spending enough time studying because it kind of sucked, man. It's like, what are you, dumbass, or what? I mean, it wasn't good. I'm pretty sure he used Kiss to hide his report card from his parents.
Because mum and dad aren't going to look in that record.
Exactly right. So like, oh, look at that, it's still in here. Many years later, there it is, and Johnny just wasn't applying himself properly. So that was unusual. But this is a box set, and it's from the Ann Arbor Blues Festival. And what was really
nice looking package too.
It is, and the stuff inside. It came with this was the actual a reproduction of the pamphlet that they gave out for 35 cents. It's all autographed, all autographed pictures of blues. Cool. Yeah, that is. And then in here, this is just one of the coolest box sets ever. They gave reproductions of the set lists from the different bluesmen.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, this one has addresses of the different people they were trying to get in and of the players and stuff at the time. And yeah, articles that came out in the press for Ann Arbor, Michigan about it. Just really cool. These things that they added into this box set that made it a lot of fun. And it's some great blues too. I believe that was from '69, I think. Okay. And so yeah, like Howlin' Wolf and all that was playing.
Yeah. Nice.
Very nice.
Well, I know you're angling to get 2 points by showing two things, but I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. But I'll give you 1 point. That was excellent. Right. And I got to admit, at first when you said there's a report card inside the Kiss one, I was for some reason I thought it was like a report card on the album, like then the penny dropped and I understood what you meant.
It's kind of funny though. I will tell you right now, it's some different record albums. I drop notes in there. I put some doodles in them because when I sell it, hey, look at that. There's some crap in here. There's receipts in them. And I just like to throw crap in them. So someday someone else will be surprised.
Wow. You're providing me with future guests' answers, so thank you.
Yes.
Cool. What was that blues box set called again? Sorry.
Ann Arbor Blues Festival.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was top notch.
3 for 3, smashing it out of the park, Mike.
Yes.
All right. Question 4. What is the best performance on a traditionally non-rock instrument in a rock song?
I'm so glad you asked me that, Ben, because
thank you.
Oh, yes, that was
a
really
pleasure
good.
to ask the question.
Yes. All right. So I think we need to, if you want a non-traditional, we need to start with the accordion. Because what says rock and roll more than the accordion? And I know you like Zydeco. And
I love it.
So this is just rock and Dopsy. Now, I got to tell you how I got into Zydeco, okay? I had this book, The New Rolling Stone Guide. I mean, I read this from cover to cover when I was quite young. And this was the entry for Rock and Dopsy. This album says, the hottest Zydeco band in the land, led by Dopsy's great accordion and soulful vocals, and produced by Sam Charters from the Swedish label. This is a must. It says right there, it's 5 stars. This is a must. I went 4 or 5 years looking for this thing. Finally found it. Of course, the flood took it out. I bought it again because it's 5 stars. So That
That
brings us
must
to
be
the
some sweet accordion.
it is some fantastic. So with accordion, Los Lobos. I mean, they play that accordion on that. It sounds fantastic. Paul Simon used, I believe, who was it? He used in the accordion. Buckwheat Zydeco played on that on Graceland for the accordion.
Yeah.
And
He appropriated everything on that record.
and we have the Carlson album, which has
Of
accordion
course.
on there too. Yes, so this really brought Christian rock up to a whole new level, and because of accordion and two saxes. So
And
because you never
about
have enough
time someone
sax.
did some self-promotion for one of their own records.
Yes, exactly right. Yes. So the accordion is the non-traditional. When I graduated from high school, I was in a Czech community, and the kid that drove the best car, he had a polka band. So they made a lot of money off polka. Can't stand the stuff. Okay.
Can't argue with 5 stars.
Yeah.
4 from 4. I'm going there.
Right.
I'm willing to take a hit and some flack for giving points to accordion, just for you. All right, question number 5. Tell a story of the most unusual or funny thing that has happened at a gig you've attended or played. You know, you might have a funny story when the Carlson singers played.
Oh yeah, I mean the groupies were incredible, just incredible. Actually, we would have to. My dad was a minister. We'd have to go to the old folks' home, and once a month, as like the Von Trapp Carlson family singers. We'd have to go there and sing, and then they would give you like kisses of their mustaches. I mean, at the time, I couldn't stand it. I was like, "Oh my God, we got to do this again." Now, okay, I get it. I'm at that age, so some young kids come in. Oh well, isn't that nice? But I would have to say probably the weirdest thing was I believe probably 1980s at a Van Halen concert with David Lee Roth. There's a guy 2 seats down from me. He seems a little not quite there, but it's Van Halen, so what do you expect? And all of a sudden he throws up on himself. I mean, he's just sitting there and just just covers himself. And he just sat through the whole concert and just felt like nothing big happened. Now everyone else is going, you start that gag reflex starts going down the line on this, but he seemed just perfectly happy sitting in his spew. And yeah, that was kind of, it distracted you a little bit.
I imagine. It's probably just another Van Halen show for him.
Yeah, exactly right.
Well, he wore it like a badge of honor. Yeah.
Sure
I don't know if that's unusual or just revolting, that story, but I'm going to give you a point anyway.
All right. It makes the snacks go down kind of hard, though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
When you put your thermos just to the side and your biscuits just, I don't think I'll be having them today. Very good. Now, this is the last one of the first 6 of the pre-prepared questions.
Okay.
This is the big one. Show your favorite music-related fruit or vegetable that's not a banana.
Yes, I have it. Beets. Do you have beets?
Yes, we have beets.
Okay, so you know how delicious beets are. I mean, you can pickle them, you can boil them, you can cut them up, you can put them in salad. Beets are great. Now, there are certain
things.
Can you
rock with them?
Yes, you can. And they're like instruments here. The leaves are edible, though I don't believe that you should eat any. Leaves are for rabbits. So anything like leaves, like lettuce, or anything green, basically I won't touch. But with beets, I did go to a restaurant once, and on the menu they had a beet burger. It sounded the most revolting thing I've ever heard of. So I ordered it. I mean, if it's going to be bad, how do you know how bad it is unless you try it, right?
And
So
money well spent too.
it was. If the company was paying for it, it didn't bother me. So I get my beet burger, and it's purple, So
Mhm.
okay, I get this, and I eat it, and I bite into it, and it was just like one of the worst tasting things in the world. I mean, it was so thick and like just dense, uh, and kind of beady. And the waitress comes by. She goes, "I can see you don't like that. You want me to take it back?" I go, "Nope. I ordered it on my own free will. It's mine. You're not going to take it back. It's my fault." So
Wow.
I did not finish the beet burger, and I've never gone for one since. But I do like beets, and there aren't many vegetables. Pretty much for me are corn and peas. Yeah, that's about it. I hear there's other types, but I mean, corn and peas, man, and beets. Yeah.
Beats.
So
Yep.
yeah, beet juice, no go though.
Oh
But yeah,
no.
they're fun stuff. All right.
I was I was thinking at some point he's going to come around and this is going to be something to do with music, but well, I
Yeah,
guess
you asked my favorite.
Oh, you thought I said what's your favorite vegetable?
Yeah. Well, the beat goes on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got me
Uh-huh.
with a technical beat question. Yeah, okay, all right. I admit you got me. 6 points. Excellent, and good of you to just run outside and dig them up for us as well. Appreciate that.
Well, it was the neighbor. They probably won't notice.
Yeah, they got heaps of beats over there. Okay, here we go.
All right.
We're now into the stuff where you get to sweat in the hot seat. Question 7.
All right.
I hope you're ready for this. Why Mike? That's the question.
Why Mike? Why? Well, why not Mike? I mean, Mike. So if it's about Mike, the reason why Mike, some people call me Steve, but they don't know. In the VC, at one point, over 75% of the people were named Mike. And they seem to be doing quite well. And in fact, one day, Mike Rankin here and I were going through our notes, and it was decided we need to be Mike so we could get our viewership up. So we changed our names, and suddenly, I mean, viewership just skyrocketed. And they go, "Oh, it's a Mike. Well, I better subscribe," because all Mikes like to subscribe to other Mikes. It's just a Mike kind of thing that they do.
I've
And
never looked back since.
yeah, there's just no reason to. It just went. I mean, Ben and Steve, it wasn't doing it. But Mike, it's like magic. Yeah.
Although there is, I'm quite concerned at the amount of Brians at the moment.
Yeah, it is kind of taken over, isn't it?
Mm.
There's a lot of them popping in, and that is something to be concerned. I don't know if it's something about if we have to do extermination,
Well,
or shut down our
yeah.
channels. Something probably is going to happen, or just more mics need to get on the ball. I think a lot have dropped out, and it's time to get the mics back, or we're going to have to change our names again.
Because if worse comes to worse, we will have to do that cult.
Yes, exactly. The cult of Brian. The life of Brian. Yes.
Yes.
So.
That is, I think that explains everything that everybody needs to know about Mike.
I think
Good answer.
Yes.
Righto. Number 8. The albatross around my neck question. Yeah. Apologise for liking Van Morrison or celebrate your dislike with me and all of the good people.
Okay. I actually don't own any Van Morrison albums. I've never bought a Van Morrison. I don't know anything about him. Now, the one guy I do like, he's called Van Morrissey, I think. was his name. I think those are the albums I bought. Van Morrissey. Uh,
Hmm.
Great guy. He wears a hat, kind of short little guy with a big fat stomach and stuff. Some people say kind of grumpy, but I think Van Morrissey's excellent, and I like buying a lot of his stuff. The Van Morrison guy, I'm not quite sure who he is. It sounds like you don't like him, and I think I really think if you were to meet him and you give him a hug, sometimes it just takes a hug and it breaks this inner desire to destroy everything about him, and suddenly you feel better. And I think if we could do that for you
The
to
thought of
have,
hugging Van Morrison makes my skin crawl.
yeah, but he's probably going to be, hey, that's Mike Rankin. Wow, he gave me a hug and something. So but
If
yeah, I'm a big
if
Van
he
Morrison
does,
fan though.
it, well, thanks for completely skating around that question.
That's my Van Morrissey collection.
Yeah, thanks for displaying all of that in my honor as well. I really
No
appreciate it.
problem.
And all you other smartasses who like Van Morrison.
Yeah.
All right. I don't believe you deserve a point for that, Mike, because you
Damn
really
it.
you tried to invent a singer to get around it. You put the image in my head of hugging Van Morrison, which is very disturbing as well.
You'd probably be
So
looking at your belly button, but a little
I'm
troll,
not even
little,
gonna. I
little,
think it's best we move on. Okay. Number 9. Tell us something we wouldn't expect or know about the pool industry.
well, everyone knows about turds in the pool industry.
Yes. That was thanks to Caddyshack.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it does happen. But here's the thing that you may not know. If it's just like a straight turd, you can clean that up, throw some chlorine in there, and you can pretty much open within an hour. But if they have diarrhea in the pool,
Oh,
that baby's getting shut down for a day or two, because
yeah.
that's some heavy duty stuff going to be happening in there. And then you have to sanitize everything and all that. And I mean, I don't think a lot of people realize that if they have diarrhea and they go in the pool, they're shutting that thing down unless no one catches it. But generally, it's something that you do notice. And there's a fun fact for you on that.
Yeah. And also, it's also good information if you do ever want to sabotage your local pool.
It sure is. Yep. And we charge $140 an hour just to clean it up. So yeah.
I think you should be charging more for that. Well, you have redeemed yourself with that, so there's a point for you. A very respectable 8 out of 9. Okay. Very respectable. Number 10, which, this may or may not relate to a previous question. Mm-hmm. Who is the most punchable singer?
Oh, gosh, punching someone.
This is an angry channel.
Yeah, I guess it is. Holy cow. Who would I like to punch out there? Wow. Well, I know you'd like to punch Bono. There's no doubt about that one. But I wouldn't punch Bono. Oh, let's see. Punch Morrissey. I don't know. He just seems like a prick. I don't know him personally, so he could be a very nice guy. He doesn't eat meat, and so that kind of I struggle with that, because he likes vegetables. I just kind of, what? Really? That's what you vegetables? That's it? That scares me.
Hate to break it to you, Mike, but I I don't eat meat either.
Oh my God, I want to come punch you now too. You live in Australia where there's more freaking cows than anything. Holy cow. Wow.
Yeah, all right. And I'm the son of a dairy farmer, so you can imagine how well that went down.
Oh, such a disappointment. Oh my God. Wow. Well, there goes another. I know there's just going to be some punching going on. That's all I can say. So,
well, I like an interviewee whose answer is punching the host. I like that. Thank God I'm a long way away, because you look like you've got a good reach when you throw one too.
Well, I will say, just so people know, I'm not going to the vegetarian restaurant to punch people. Okay, I'm not going to do that. But when I was traveling and eating out all the time, I would try vegetarian restaurants. It was the scariest experience every time. I mean, I was just sweating. Oh God, this could be awful. But you have to try. It's just like, well, I don't know unless I try. And there were a couple good dishes, but for the most part, I'm just looking at it and go, God, it is all vegetable kind of related. And tofu, I absolutely don't understand whatsoever. That's a sponge or something. I don't get it. So, God.
I think you would struggle in Japan then.
Probably would.
There's a lot of tofu dishes there.
Just noodles.
Yes, I have a cousin who's a committed meat eater, and he came around to my place, and I cooked a veggie curry for him, and just served it up, and he really enjoyed it, and then I said, and there's no meat in that. He's like, you wouldn't even know it. That was beautiful. Yeah. All right. Now this is one of the big ones. This question, number 11. Well, by the way, you're 10 from 11. That's what I'm trying to say.
Wow.
So, going all right. There's been a hell of a lot worse. So, you're in the upper echelon.
Yes.
So, question number 11. Say, hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Oh.
Hello, everybody.
You didn't even let me finish the question.
Well, you said say hello, everybody. So I said, it's kind of like a parrot,
Which is usually followed by in the style of Vinyl Richie, but
I've seen every interview you've done. So hello, everybody. We got
all right. So well, let's see how you went.
Poor Richie doesn't have a life. He's on bed rank.
Yeah, he's at my beck and call.
That sounded like a hillbilly, man. No point.
No point.
Oh my God! I gave you a good Nebraska accent on there.
That was terrible. That was almost as bad as the beat answer.
Did you hear his g'day at the start?
No,
yeah,
I didn't hear that.
It was a great good day.
See, it's just a shit show. That's terrible.
Well, sorry, Richie. Here we go. I just can't do it. I can't.
Well, there you go. The man himself.
Steve, good luck with that. The last question. Those ones are kind of out of left field.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
All right, Richie.
Thanks, mate.
Oh, the official judge. All right, judge and jury. Damn it, missed that one. I knew I should have practiced.
I love how he also has judgment on answers of other questions he's not even brought in for. I think on one of them he actually made me reinstate the point for someone.
He did. Yes, he did. Exactly. Yeah, for Brian. Brian got a point back.
I think so, yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, well, sorry, can't give you anything for that one. Last question in the regular round, number 12. Okay, this is kind of a scenario, right? So I want you to think about what's your favorite genre of music? Like, what do you find yourself pulling most times over anything else?
Okay.
And then think about, what is your least favorite genre of music? Okay. Like,
Yep.
maybe Zydeco. I don't know. So if you had a choice of only listening to 2 records for the rest of your life, and you don't have to listen to them every day,
Okay.
one of them has to be the best, in your opinion, of one genre, which is the worst, the best of the worst genre, and
Okay.
the other one has to be the worst record, in your opinion, of your favorite genre. What would you choose?
Mm.
So you might be like, I love this genre, but I've got to listen to the worst album in that genre for the rest of my life.
Okay.
And you're like, I hate this genre, but even though I hate it, I suppose I've got to go for that 5-star Zydeco record.
No, I think we'll go with polka as the worst. I just, so there's no confusion. Okay, it's not the best. So polka, it does have an accordion though, but Zydeco's cool because it gets 5 stars in Rolling Stone. So cool. Because Rolling Stone's never been wrong in their life.
No,
But
always been cool.
yeah, always. But polka is it. I mean, I just don't get it. I can't stand it. And let's see. There was a polka artist back in the '60s, Myron Florin, probably '60s and '70s. He was on a show called Lawrence Welk. That
Good name.
my parents, who also played accordion, and our parents had to watch that every Saturday night. We only had one TV, so you're going to watch TV. You're watching Lawrence Welk, as these 2 accordionists gave you the hits of today through accordion. And I'm just going to assume that Myron Florin would have this album that would probably be his very best. And that album would be, Myron gets his rocks off playing hits of Black Sabbath.
I hope that exists.
I hope so too, because accordion Black Sabbath, how cool would that be? You would want to listen to that, the rest of your life. And in my Myron Florin, he did put out record albums, so I could see that, because he really did bring modern hits to life through the accordion.
I still just love his name. I don't know
Yes.
this person, but I think that's a great name.
From North Dakota too, and there's only like 5 people that live in North Dakota, so to become big and get on TV, that's a big deal. Now, the favorite genre, I don't know, we'll just put out rock, and I'm just going to have to say,
well, can you stop being so specific with subgenres, please?
Well, I was trying to think. There's some really bad stuff out there that I actually have. But I would have to put, this could kill me if I had to listen to this constantly. Lou Reed's Metal Machine music. I mean, it is, a lot of folks don't know this, but the CIA does use that on torture, and they got caught, and they had to stop because these people were going absolutely insane. They just crank up Metal Machine music, 24 hours a day on these folks, and it breaks them. It breaks them fast, but it was considered to be so inhumane because even the guards were starting to go a little nutso. These are just facts that people don't know about. But if you read Wikipedia, you'll learn this kind of stuff. So, yeah,
good source. It's a good source.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, it's you can't lie in Wikipedia, obviously.
No.
So Metal Machine music is just disturbingly bad. I have it, and I bought it just because I had to see. It's like going to a 1-star restaurant. You go to a 1-star restaurant for the sole purpose of finding out how bad is it, which I used to do. Again, the company was paying for it, so it didn't matter. And you just go in to find out, wow, that really was a 1-star meal. That was bad, and you knew, and you felt better about it. And that's the same with Metal Machine music. I found out it sucks, but I know, so there's no question marks in my head.
Excellent. You really do like to put yourself through the ringer.
Yeah, I do. I just, I'm a curious kind of guy. So it's like, boy, that looks terrible. All right, I'll order it.
Yeah.
Probably the worst was when I ordered sheep brains.
I
I
remember stories of from my dad when he grew up, and that was like the kids couldn't wait till they got fried sheep brains on a weekend or whenever it was when they had it. And I was like, oh.
It was cooked in butter, and I just thought, it's an appetizer. How bad can it be? I guess all I wanted to find out is, let's try it. It's very gushy.
That is a definite point. So 11 from 12 in the regular round.
Okay.
Outstanding stuff, Mike.
Yep. There we go.
Now for the bonus question, the
Yes,
one
sir.
that Richie mentioned.
Yep.
I don't know why he said what he said. I think that was just uncalled for. These
well,
are
I
gettable.
did get the marsupial one. The marsupial one. I go, God, why didn't I get that one? I got my marsupials, but hey, that's all right. Fire away.
I took advantage of Alex in that one because of I think we'd already done 2 hours of talking about Nick Cave before that, so he was a few beers in by that point. So okay. I think he was not going to get that possum one.
Yeah.
Okay, bonus question. What is Australia's longest river?
Oh, okay. All right. Let me think about that for just a minute. I'm seeing it. I'm getting it.
Visualizing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of people don't know this about Australia. And
you've actually brought up a lot of things that people don't know today.
Wikipedia. So now rivers, oftentimes we think as above ground, but there's rivers underground too. And there's lots of, there's the river Styx. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure the river Styx is underground, because if it was on top of ground, you'd see dead people out all over the place, floating around. Makes sense. So again, just a little unknown fact for folks, and feel free to look this up. But there is the world's largest underground river, and it spills out into the Indian Ocean, just in case somebody wants to know about that. And the river is called Walla Walla Bing Bang Boom. And it starts on it would be on the western edge. And Australia kind of slants some. Again, people don't know that, but there's an actual slant because there more people are on one side than the other side, and kind of makes it tip a little bit. But it's okay.
That's a very good point, because most of the population is on the east coast. Yes, excellent.
Yeah. And so it just kind of, the water just, goes down that way. And so this underground river that a lot of people, if you know any spelunkers, you can ask them about it, because they're going to tell you about Walla Walla Big Bang Boom. That it is.
I'm surprised you got that out twice.
Yes, because it's true. Damn it! That's why I studied this. And it flows across the whole continent, dumps into the ocean, and someday they're going to tap it to try to bring life out to the Australian desert, which is 95% of Australia. But right now they haven't gotten into that, and so it flows. So it's just a little known fun fact that even most people in Australia don't know.
No, we don't know that. I think the closest you come to truth there was, you weren't far off it being about 80, I think it's about 86 or 87% desert. 95 is pretty close. Contrary to these well-researched facts that Mike has brought up, at the time of recording, the facts available to me say that it's the Murray River is the longest river in Australia, which is 2,508 kilometers.
Yeah.
Convert it and get on board with metric. It's the future, man. And it spans across 3 states: South Australia, New South Wales, and Victoria.
Oh,
And I lived in a small town called Swan Hill where I grew up, which was a border town on the Murray River.
on the Murray River. So
Mhm.
that's the longest river that people see, is what you're telling me.
That's
Not like an
above
underground river
ground.
they don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
above ground. Okay, yeah. I
I,
mean, you
I
did
didn't.
clarify. If you had said it has to be the river that people can see and swim in above, I would have said Murray, but I was just thinking that Walla Walla Bing Bang Bong underground. But
Three
okay, I'll
times.
go with it.
Three times.
I'm kind of amazed I did that too.
I should specify between above and below ground rivers. I apologize for that.
It's okay. That's all right.
You know, it's an obvious one, really, when I think about it. It's a terrible mistake, and I actually feel quite embarrassed about that.
Okay.
But you're still not getting a point.
Damn it.
So,
I thought it
Mike,
sounded convincing.
to a point. So, out of a possible 13 questions, including the bonus question, you got 11 points. How you feel about that, Mike?
Yeah, that's all good. It's all good. 13's fun, but 11, yeah, what the hell?
That was what you were aiming for, I feel.
Yeah, if I'd practiced my Vinyl Richie, kind of forgot all about that to watch. I watch them every week, but I watched every one of these, and it's like, oh yeah, I gotta do Vinyl Richie. Forgot about that.
Beautiful.
I'm great.
Excellent work. You can all argue about the points in the comments below. I will stick a link below this to the wonderful Mike Carlson's channel, and you can check him out. You're already subbed to him. What if you sub to me instead? I don't have as many subs as Mike Carlson. How about that?
Yeah.
I never ask for subs ever.
I don't either, except on my opening. It says on the very bottom, won't you be my subscriber? I typed that in, but that's because of that Mr. Rogers thing that you just learned about.
Yes.
It's part of his song.
I think I was unfamiliar with Mr. Rogers when I first saw that. I had to check that out to have any point of reference. So, yeah, that there's a few things in some channels in general, I'm like, which people are like, it's a reference to their locality, and it's just straight over my head.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, remind me of, yes, like remind me of Harris Pilton told me once about the one time he actually asked for subs. He checked a week later, and they'd gone down. So he's never asked for them again.
Yeah, no, I don't bother.
Anyway,
it doesn't matter.
We better wrap that up because, as we know, embryonic robot Brian really doesn't like the length of these videos, and he's not happy that his was the first and the shortest video. So,
oh man,
let's leave it at that, man.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Mike, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you, Mike, and always a pleasure, sir. Good day.